We are back on your screens with another interesting edition of The Verdict. This one is powered by the Alliance for Community Action under the Ask Elections TV series, an initiative powered by the Alliance for Community Action, ACA. We have another interesting topic of discussion today: youth and elections. What role should young people play in the 2021 general elections? Well, my name is Patrick Soko, and my guest on the program is Newton MAINZA, aka MBOTOTO. Welcome to the program, sir.
Good afternoon, Soko, and greetings to all the viewers out there.
We are glad that you could find time to be part of the program today.
And I'm humbled to be here.
Thank you. Well, our dear viewers, you also be part of the program by dialing the numbers that will be scrolling on your screens so that you can also ask the questions to our guest on the program. Remember, our topic of discussion: youths and elections. What role should young people play in the 2021 general elections? You can equally share your views on how you think young people need to contribute to the political discourse of this country. Well, to get started with the program, this year's general elections is exciting, of course, as it has seen many young people on social media especially declare the interest to vote. Is this the youth movement we have been waiting for as a country, Mr. MBOTOTO?
You've said that the question is it the youth movement that you've been waiting for?
Yes.
I don't know for how long you've been waiting for it, but if I can speak about it from my perspective,
exactly.
I can say that the youths have just realized that they can also be in front of decision making. For all along, we've been relying on the politicians to represent us, but instead of them representing us, it's like they are representing themselves, because once we give them the problems that we have, they go to parliament, they don't come back with a solution. So as youths, for all along, we've been thinking that we are the future leaders, and we've always been wishing and dreaming that freedom may or will come tomorrow. But as youths, I think the youths have just realized that they are no longer future leaders. They are supposed to be leaders. And freedom shouldn't be expected like freedom is coming tomorrow. Freedom must come today, and freedom must come now.
Yeah, interesting. Youths have also been looked at as people who are divided, especially when it comes to political participation. What do you think is that so?
It just depends on our perspective, more division. But Zambian democracy, and it being a democratic nation, means that each and every Zambian has got the right or can belong to each and every political party. He or she feels like the manifesto or the stories they are coming up with is in line with their dreams. So I can't say that it is division. It's just the level of understanding and the way we look at life depending on where you are and your financial grounds. That's what I can say. So it's not division. It's they're exercising their freedom of belonging to each and every political party of their choice. So I cannot say that it's division. They're exercising their rights.
Why should young people participate in the electoral process?
Young people, when we say young people, young is very wide. So in responding to your question, exactly, I'll try to categorize the young, and I'll say the youth, those who are eligible voters, the reason why they should participate. From my point of view, the youths are the pillars. Youth a pillar. Because why youth are being gathered now, the body and they've got families, meaning that they are the pillars. They have to look after their parents, because ichibemba chirandati korowa kota asabirwa n'abaana. So tekwebati abafyashinga batukusha. We should forgetting about
what is the interpretation of your proverb?
Korowa kota asabirwa n'abaana. It simply means that when a human being grows old, they tend to lose their physical being which they used to have in their youth days. So as youths, we have to be responsible and take care of our parents just the way they had to take care of us when we were young as they were youths. So that is, I think, the meaning of that proverb. So as youths, we are supposed to be very much into this reason being that we are having children. So if we don't participate in politics, politics is not just activism, neither is it just casting the vote, but politics is like participating in decision making. Because if you don't participate in politics, it simply means that you are waiting for the people who don't actually know you personally to make some decisions on your behalf. And the people who you haven't even spoken to or who you haven't taught the problems that you face. So if as a youth you just sit back and say, no, I will not participate into politics, meaning that you are comfortable with what you are having, you are comfortable with what you are facing, and you are comfortable to be where you are. But with this economic crisis that you are having, each and every day, mitengo shabunga shide dula and stuff like that. So if we don't participate into politics and make sure that we change the Zambia, our children are going to suffer more than we are suffering.
Interesting.
Today. Yes.
But what are some of the ways which young people who are of the right voting age actively participate?
Come again?
Those young people who are eligible to vote, for instance. What are some of the initiatives which they can participate in to show their right, to exhibit their rights, and also participate in the process, in the electoral process?
Oh, I understand now. There's something that each and every Zambian citizen has to put into consideration. Each and every game has got do's and don'ts. Meaning that if you are a football player, nangu wababila tetuimye bola ne minwe wapita futu waibika punch, that will be handball. Tibakupela na yellow card. So for youths to participate accordingly to the way they are supposed to participate in the politics, they have to understand the constitution. Hapa bera problem pakwe bati abantu badi bebati constitution mafunde yabo. But very few people kula conquered from one house to the other. Have you ever seen the constitution? Constitution. So if each and every individual understands the constitution, how to participate in politics, where to start from and where to end. Just like in football, if football has got some rules, what of not making the citizens understand their do's and don'ts? Because having a constitution, youth after arrest, and then judging according to chapter cap section of the laws of Zambia, which he or she doesn't even know. So the better distribute door to door ama mosquito nets. The better printer ama pamphlets ya constitution for each and every citizen to have access to the written rules, the do's and don'ts, so that nangwat bakwikatori mukoti ba judge yakula bangukira ko kairi kukuipsha, so ilifunde otobede ilifunde because barista distribute ama pamphlets ya constitution. So how the youth should participate in politics, that has got some strings attached to the constitution. It's the reason why we are seeing a lot of violence in the streets, because the youths don't know where they should start from and where they should end at, because their issues has got people that has to do with them. Kwadi baba group A, ba group A to babi katinibadi haba mano emo baba prefect mo bana ma head girl, and then kwa isa baba group B kwa bana ba group C. So same na mudi political seko kwadi baba kada nchito ya boni finio baimba tekwa kwambo koma mapanga abantu awo, so ngapadia ka difference epara isa mukuputuke nchito ya ba group C bakada ya kuba kulanda. So ngabaishiba where the rules the do's and don'ts starts from and where they end, they'll be participating perfectly in politics, and I guess we'll not be seeing this violence. Kairi, as they say, an idle mind is a workshop of a devil, so it's just a matter of trying to come up with solutions that can change the mindset of the youths.
Well, in case you are just joining us, you are watching Ask Elections TV series, an initiative brought to you by the Alliance for Community Action, ACA. And my guest on the program is Newton MAINZA, aka MBOTOTO. Actually, he was supposed to be accompanied by his colleague, Cham Fumba, aka Pilato, but we are just hosting one of them. Both of them are activists, and I'm confidently that Mr. MAINZA will do justice to the topic of discussion, as we have already started getting deep into our conversation. Now, going on with our program, Mr. MAINZA, most young people are supposed to be activists or influencers. Have young people become pawns to push the NGO agendas?
That question is a little bit nalanda shanchi songo nshininga bonfani versatile ile suti ngapeng so nalaya asukira muri understanding nayo mfuira
Exactly.
Yeah, kwebati most youths were activists at baluka maponi bakupushing ama agenda ama NGOs. In part one nala skat no. And then example nala pera ya kwebati if a former Zambia national team player opens up a foundation, a football foundation, aba kulaya koma footballer, I doubt ba musician ingatiba yako cause if iliko kudia it's football. So the NGOs yo ine mwapunda ama agendas ama NGOs bali kwa ama agendas aya pusana yo ba pushing. So I can say if one is an activist and then agenda levutuka nayo, if it has got some strings attached to the NGO, what I see no problem of getting connected to the non-governmental organization if you've got something in common, and if their agendas got some strings attached to what you want to see, how you want things to move and stuff like that. So it's not that they've become pawns to like push the NGOs agendas. From my point of view, I say no.
What influences your activism?
What influences my activism, I guess, is not something which is external, it's something which is internal. It's how I feel, what I've been through, what my dreams are, and how I want this Zambia to be like. Chimwati, what example can I give? Chimwati, mwakwate chidiro panganda, watampo kudira. What influences you to cry? Nothing. So I'm not an activism just because I saw someone and then I got inspired. No, I just speak my heart and my mind out. Because what I've seen a lot of people suffering, not because they don't think properly, not because they are not hardworking. They even put in extra efforts, but because of the system, those people remain poor. And I've seen a person who was like from the third class of society becoming a millionaire in a fraction of a political term just because he has been appointed by the people to be their representative with the name of the area member of parliament, and then he neglects the people that had to cast the vote on him to like represent them. So it is something that each and every individual should like be considering. I guess I've answered.
Ably. Well, in case you are joining us, you are watching the Ask Elections TV series powered by the Alliance for Community Action, ACA. In case you want to participate on the program, you can dial the number on our MTN line, that is 0968675273, and on our Airtel line, it is 0973 167840. You'll be able to reach us through the studios, and you'll be able to participate and interact with our guests. Now, proceeding with our program, do young people enjoy the freedom of assembly and association in Zambia among the many rights entitled to them?
From my point of view, I can say that depending on which political party they are affiliated to, because the freedom of assembly, you'll find that here they will say that it's unlawful assembly, and then they'll explain to you the blah, blah, blah. I mean the negatives of you assembling there. And then just across the road, you find that people have assembled, and with this pandemic, they are not even abiding by the World Health Organization set up rules, but their gathering is not even interfered, I mean. So it just depends on who you are with and what you are doing. But I can say that if I had to like put it into percentages, I can say that it's 50 by 50. It's unpredictable if you don't belong to a certain circle of people.
In other words, we're implying that you need to belong to the ruling party in order to fully enjoy your rights.
Oh, that's what you've said. I second your statement.
Well, we have a caller just now. Okay, we've lost that one. Well, just in case you want to participate on the program, you can dial the number, our MTN line, that is 0968 675273 and 0973 167840. You'll be able to be through to the studios by dialing those two numbers. We are discussing youth, the role young people should play in the 2021 general elections. And my guest is Mr. Newton MAINZA, mostly known as MBOTOTO. He's an artist. We seem to have a caller.
Hello?
Hello, you are through to Camry TV.
Yes, yes.
May
I
we?
second with your view. Because sometimes as a youth...
Just before you proceed, sir, we just want to get your details of who you are and where you are calling us from.
My name is Samuel.
Okay, calling from?
Labombe.
Okay, you can proceed, sir.
Okay, I was saying that if you want to express your view in politics, if you are opposing the ruling party, then in these days you find yourself in danger. So the youth are failing to express their feeling about in this politics. So that makes it, that, I don't know what to say, but the people are not free to express their views because of these politics nowadays.
All right. Thank you for your contribution, sir. Well, he's just agreeing with you. If you can take that one, then we can proceed. Unless you want to comment over his statement.
No, it was straightforward.
Thank you. Well, and how is music used as a tool for activism or advocacy? I want to learn from you.
From my point of view and the way I do it, I use music in the sense that I understand Zambians, because I'm a Zambian. Abantu bam Zambia babatinga, why so serious? Good afternoon. I want to have a conversation with you. Will you please no. Idabakesa mwana kwatina ukwata sana mano. So badi temwa entertainment. So along the line of telling them what you want them to hear. If I want to talk about...
I will have to interrupt you for a call.
All right.
Just a moment. You can hold on to your thought. You are through to Camry TV. Hello, you are through to Camry TV. Okay, we've lost that one. You were explaining on how music is used as a tool for activism and advocacy before I interrupted you there.
Yes. So the example I can give is how we congregate on Sundays or those who go on Saturdays. When you go to church, it doesn't mean that the pastor will be preaching from the time the service will start up to the time the service will end. Bakwaya kula bati baisa baimba, and then different types of activities per program. So in my activism, I decide to use music. Reason being that music is what I do.
We have a caller. Hello, you are through to Camnet TV.
Yeah, first of all, I just want to say hi to Mr. MBOTOTO.
How are you, sir?
Yeah, I'm fine, sir. How are you?
Yes, your names and where you are calling us from?
Yeah, it is from
Ndola. Okay, you can proceed, sir.
Yeah, I want to say hi to Mr. MBOTOTO before I continue.
Okay.
Hello, Mr. MBOTOTO, how are you?
I'm fine, thank you. And how are you?
No, I'm fine.
Sad, we wasted time greeting Mr. MBOTOTO there, and sadly we lost that one. You can proceed with your line.
So to cut the long story short, because we can have another caller. So I can say that I use music, reason being that when you are teaching the people, when you get too serious, some will think that you are trying to portray a picture like you think, or you are having a lot of data more than the data that they have. So I use my music. You teach as you are entertaining. So as they get glued to the rhythm, they will tend to like get the message. So I use entertainment to like preach to the people. Yes.
Interesting. And should musicians who are largely youths be seen as to support a political party, or should just stick to making music? What is your view on that one?
Yambwekesha kwati question paliwe na chasu kapona imbi. My rights, Zambia is democratic. So they exercise their rights. And as people, as musicians, as artists, we do get into music with different motives. Kwadi baba ya kukwaya. Alemba from kubwa iche mpaka kota. Mudi music tatontonkanya what I will sing for money. No. Venabai bikafat or to imbila les. Kwadi banaba kubati you get into music. Ida ine music if we have any income generating activity. Kairifuti na wetu ikadira mu Zambia alikosa. So it just depends na motive ukwete mudi music. And moreover, Bible eyalandati lesanga kupere talanta inshaku pusushako kubombeshi nchitoeshako batukaraimia masaka ya bunga. So the talent should like bring bread and butter on the table. So if you just do it right and then you are with the right people,
We have a
they are exercising their rights.
You are through to Camnet TV. Hello, you are through to Camnet TV.
Hello?
Yes, we can get you. May we have your name and where you are calling us from?
Hello? Hello, good evening.
Good evening. We can get you. Can you get us?
My name is African and I'm calling you from Chingola.
Chingola, you can proceed with your comments, sir.
I can hear you. Good evening, and my name is Abel. I'm calling you from Chingola.
Thank you. Proceed, sir.
All right. I just want to commend the gentleman, the one on the panel, popular known as MBOTOTO. I'm a follower of oil activism, especially on Facebook and in the musical area.
Thank you, sir.
I want to mention that as I'm a youth and I'm in my decades, we allow me to take this opportunity to say, the youth in Zambia, we are the future of tomorrow. We're supposed to provide checks and balances to the government because we are the leaders of tomorrow. So if we engage ourselves in political violence, attacking our friends from the other camps, what leadership are we going to provide in the next 2, 3, 4, 5 years from now when we become the leaders of tomorrow. So I want to take some especially get every Zambian youth that let's dismiss them from political violence. This is Zambia. Zambia belongs to all of us, both in government and the opposition. And if we all had this mindset, I think Zambia can be a better country to live in. So to have people like MBOTOTO, the landowner and MAINZA and everyone else, I think that is the place to have such active youth. So we thank you and we really support you with MBOTOTO.
Thank you.
And hope to see you at the next level in life.
Thank you, thank you.
Thanks, man.
Thank you for your contribution, sir. Interesting. That one is, was just adding to what you've already said, but was also advising young people to stay away from violence. And I don't know if you want to add on to that.
I can just contribute on the issue of political violence. We are Zambians, and then those political leaders ukuchitikira violence tababako na okubako, and then turechena na fueka and then nofo turechena nina tafishivi kwa bwino. If we as youths, regardless of political party mufumineko, tuwabike mitwe pamo, because they say united we stand and divided we fall. Tuwabike mitwe pamo. Very easy nanguni politician kumwe, but what we want is this. Because MUP wa ichichipaningais, and then as youths, instead of violence, tuwarikala popa mwat alo. Imomweba ku UPND isen, mweba ku NDC isen, naba PF, mwaikala pamo. Ama problems tukwete supposing nga mudiba mukabwata. Ama problem tukwete mukabwata, nga di muchiruru mufuma. Ama problems tukwete ya muchiruru. Ma problems inshi. Mwala isa sangati. Takwa abana matap, no running water. Mwaikala panshi. Ona le boyonga isa na mponga ni kansela nangu ni meya. Ngana muikala as youths mwabike mitwe pamo. Teti, ese amifurunga nyebufu kozi uyunga isa mukalamu bati of 3-4 akuno menshi. Tatuwa kwa ta clinic. Ngatu wali kwa ta clinic imitita muwa. Number, what's the purpose of fighting? After fighting, mwaba perane vote. Vaya, ero mwala shala shani, mwala alienshi. Cause vesa mukisha 100 kwa cha muriaba di 13. Mwala kanama shinga. And then 100 kwa cha ungabudi la popanga. Wakomo muno.
Interesting.
Not
now,
normal.
Mr. MBOTOTO, I also asked about your activism and music. I know most of the times your music is considered to be controversial because you'd speak out on governance issues. But does that imply that you are a sympathizer of UPND or a supporter?
No, as I said in the beginning, I just try to speak my heart out. And then if they say that my music is controversial, from whose perspective is it controversial? For something to be called that it's controversial, nishi padi where they so I don't see my music to be controversial because it isn't. So whosoever says that my music is controversial, all I can say is I don't know if it's Newton's first law of motion or the second or third, which says to every action there's an opposite and equal reaction. So if they see my music to be controversial, maybe they are the ones who are controversial, and then they're just trying to defend themselves, whosoever they are.
But what sort of initiative are required, for example, to have the brains like yours, or to be able to drive that passion to speak about governance issues? Because we see other musicians focusing on love music. But what commitment is required to have the necessary knowledge and skills to be able to bring out issues surrounding governance?
Ramdala wandina isa pundati the better wafwa muchalwe chile pema dhani uri umutunturu muchalwe chafwa. I would rather be dead in a living country than living in a dead country. Tinaimba love music. Nangu mwebe nena isa mipshati. Nilisa mwede pomu sounds za kedi ukuyashita CD. Piracy nomba ya dialuka fe nomo. Ero njimbe love song. Nimbo na noku monati. Abantu. Pariofu bafuire baishiba for a better tomorrow. Cause nanguma shows bano no abenga ripira 100 kwacha isa ripira kushow. No. Cause life na ikosa. So I have to use my music ukuchita preach kubantu. Cause there's what is called before voting but ni election year 12 August.
Exactly.
If kala chitika pa 12 August, that one is called democratic accountability. Democratic accountability nifidefya kwebati abekala chalo in accordance no foba umfuire muli social accountability. Social accountability is when politicians and the citizens are having dialogues bale kumana balanda kuno kuchirulu ni problem nshimukwete.
Let me take this one.
Okay.
Hello, you are through to Camera TV. You are through to the station. Good evening. May we have your names and where you are calling us from?
My name is Milton F. Mwa from Kalushi in particular.
Okay. You can proceed, sir, with your contribution.
Thank you so very much. I'm following your program. Actually, I'm very interested for that.
Thank you.
And talking on democracy, I think we're misusing the democracy in Zambia. What I mean is that when we come to the gatherings, like of the meeting, pressing of someone's ideas and whatever, questioning what happened in the country, it is not all that in an equal way. What I mean is that, like the person who is presenting the program is saying that better to live in a living, to die in a living
That's Mr. MBOTOTO.
than die in a dead country. Meaning that the leadership is not all that doing enough to control the situation on the ground. There are some people who are gathering, but nothing is being happening. But if the other side will gather, then from now you find that the police will come and start now, bringing confusion on those people without even listening what the people have gathered for and to deliver to the people of the community or the community or the district or the province itself. So what we mean is that, what I mean is that the democracy itself is not all that equal compared to the Western countries or European countries. So our prayer as Christians and believers of this nation is that the leaders in the government should do enough at least to make sure that everything is done accordingly. Also praying to God that they need to have the wisdom from God so that even the knowledge of God should lead them so that they will show the quality of leadership to the people or to the country at large. That's my concern. But enjoying your program, continue with that program until at least the day of 12 August, when we have the elections. Thank you.
Thank you for your contribution, sir.
You're welcome. Please.
You can pick it up from there, but I also want to marry it with another question, Mr. MBOTOTO. Now,
all right.
How does music influence a vote? So you can proceed.
So I was saying that I use music ukulanda na abantu kozi nganamba okuimba pama love nangu tamwimbire po abantu bakaba mu love ofo yabafi whether love ili pa social media, whether love tapali pa social media, whether na mwimba pali love, the fact is abantu bakula kwatabana love teso poya kweba to mwambi okupanga ma advert ya love wato abantu tabali panga love no. So tufuire tulelanda pafintu ifyakobati nganalanda pofuire fyachinja nangu abantu kubeba kwati imota mulemona ati fitafirenda bwino fuire fyachinja so nkesa imba pali love nganamona ati each and every Zambian citizen is able to access the basic needs ngaya clinic umutiala usanga nganapanga show ala isadi pirenda lama nombe fyonga tafire chitika. What's the purpose of singing pali love? I would rather sing about democratic accountability. Cause kwadi ba terms aya kwebati ama political terms, they have to be propounded to an extent where even a layman is supposed to understand. That's why bambi abantu besa mukumuna kwati politics yaba group A ababa kubato ekala kumaya D, and then cause of the terminologies. So number, if I use my music to start propounding those big terminologies, if you are going about, oh, referendum, what is referendum? Umuntu amuku vote la referendum, but can you define referendum? So I try using my music to propound. Even a layman, a layman should understand, because we are Zambians. Ni should not participate in politics. So I use my music to simplify those big terms, such that even a person who is from the third class of society will understand at all. A paid ko badela pali cyber bill. If it mudi cyber bill ni so. Hii shire kwa pani so. Not fionse fide perera fe mutsungu. Meaning that you are sidelining whatever ko batitale umfo etsungu mwachita sideline whatever ko batita ishibo kuberenga. So we should be making sure that information, if we are umfo in Zambia, regardless of your financial, religious, spiritual shine, each and every Zambian should have access to the right information that is needed for each and every citizen.
Well, what factors should young people consider when thinking about who to vote for, especially that we are having elections this year?
On that one, I cannot speak on behalf of the other youths. I'll speak on my behalf. I'll vote in accordance to how the economy has treated me for the past 4 years and some months.
Okay. You wouldn't want to speak for others?
When it comes to casting a vote, we just go one by one. So I'm talking on behalf of Newton, the reason why he's going to cast a vote, and why.
We have a caller. Hello, you are through to Camry TV. May we have your name and where you're calling us from?
This is
Come again, sir. Okay, Kitwe, you can proceed with your comment or contribution.
Thank you, boss.
Thank you for your contribution, sir. Well, you heard that one, man. I don't know if you want to pick it up, or because I want to find out also from you what forms of communication should young people use to be heard. Do you have any suggestions?
Yes, I do. To be heard. Kaidi yaba kwat fidea dia kade. But it's still monopolize. If you had TV shan, we only had one TV station muchalo. My side it's monopolize. Number as ichalo chile say that remona development. Kai development yena tetu ba itadik. Tuwakwata kwa tuma TV station na tumbi. Those are the platforms. And there's social media. Social media na any platform. Yes, so there are a lot of platforms that can be used.
Then the same social media, cyber rose, don't you think they could have an effect the way, depending on how young people utilize them?
If you nachira punda, if you don't say if constitution, umuntu ngadishiba constitution, definitely a case I issue, but in as a citizen, I'm not a beggar, I'm a demander. And then politician ingaisa nendala matwimbira nangwichima tekova tiluse nindala mashiesu tetibonse tuye mu parliament ukuya twala ma problems twakwata. We have to select waku tuchita represent. So nga twaisa son that iwe tuchita represent tekova tawe nishi. So
Zambians do not need to thank the government for taking development.
In the first place, for someone to marry, I'm going to take care. I'm going to take good care of the children. So, semu nefya but pangira hospital. Hey, thank you, Tiabapo. They have considered us, but whose money have they used? Wisheba bompeshen dala mashabo, babudi de padisara diabo, nanguni taxpayers' money. So it's our money that comes back to us. It's the reason why I've said that we as citizens, we are not beggars, we are demanders. We have to demand for transparency. We have to demand for accountability. We are the demanders, not beggars. So if they build roads, I don't know if it's making roads or building roads. It's their duty. It's the same as you are a married man, you've got kids and dependents. When you buy a bag of milimi, you start announcing pachpanda. Ndi mupondo, nimbashtira no bunga, ngata ubashtiri obunga nani walashti obunga. So ngata pangire misebo abadi mu office. Uku ya taxpayers money ngabari pirama taxpayers obo tuwabika chakurodesheni ukuri moba administrator teko bata administrator ngamwasonta administrator ninjaru kanyinganda yako aho tenganda yako ni administrator so na shirienda la mashira teko bati ruse tabati kwatiro so wanji bade bonfenda la mashira. So that's taxpayers money.
Interesting. Protest the only way the plight of young people can be heard?
Come again?
The protest, is it the only avenue which young people can be heard?
Na yena if done in a right way. Nomba mnomzambia te wish with the right way of doing the protest. Kaidi kuisa sangati umuntu imishefi akabokosi. Akabokosi. Nale mbapwati. We need justice. Ayade machinga mumusefu. Bala isa muikata. Kwatidi mbina kwatana maguru netu kumuposa mudirandi kuruza. So it is one way if it is done well. Because protest take over to Kanya. No. But you do it. You have a peaceful protest. But nomba muno na peaceful protest yena. Ngataudi fie na baba dipo. Definitely nish protest yenu bala isa kwatidi mbi murefu wa muru enkondo. Like we witnessed about the Bush protest. Nibame zishani nama activist. Bambi nama regeni tabako atapo na mulaive. But police ba ishire batumina. diva kwatirimbi bali ya mukulu enkondo. So protest it's one way, but muno mu Zambia as at now bwafya sana tatwaishibana peaceful protesting ngemonekashana.
Well, we are discussing youth and elections. What role should young people play in the 2021 general elections? We'll take that call for now. Hello, you are through to Camnet TV. Hello, you are through to... May we have your name and where you are calling us from?
I'm calling you from Gateway. Gift.
Okay, you can proceed, sir.
Okay, the question that I've been having is the question on health insurance bill which has been introduced. The health insurance bill, the purpose was to put medicine in the hospital. This time, when the hospital is happening, where are they taking the money? Why are we not getting the benefit of it? So that really makes me upset. People are dying. That's one issue going. Then I go to CDF. That CDF is for every constituent. This time people are campaigning 01, 02, 04. We have made this, we have made schools 1 by 2 classroom, whatever. This man is a good man. Whose money are they using? Are they not CDF fund? Is it coming from the pocket of somebody? No. So all those things, we need leaders to be sincere. We can support all of them, but look at what their ideology and what they stand for, and this life. So it's us, young people, who realize it's not easy to go to university. No, if you have to get 7, help us to understand. So those are my contributions I wanted to put across. Thank you.
Thank you. Mr. MBOTOTO is just trying to ask, I think he's agreeing with your area perception to say, do leaders use their personal money? Is bringing out the aspect of CDF and some of the laws that we have which are supposed to help us improve the health sector. But in actual sense, on the ground, it speaks otherwise, according to our previous caller there. Do you want to comment on that?
But politician time ubesa ma campaign nisha ni inauguration, the day of inauguration. Kula bati ale ingira mu office. Shimona po wisa ne masaka fya ndala mali punda to even before nshirambo kubombe shindala mashala baso. Ninchito to amufuaire nchito. To amusonta, you are going to be representing us. Not at to amwebat oh iwe kabiye kola. No. So indala mababomfe tendala mashabo. Ni free accommodation, ukuteko bufuide bude dipira kaidini kwa kusogolo to ali mubika tafuide ade sebana sana. So tufuide to afwaya to baona de bonabe kala bwino nganda mahala na chimoto kana baba pera. So indala matababomfe indala mashabo, nindala mashesu. Muchipao cha chalo muri omwingira taxpayers money ero twamuchetekera ati iwe tula kumono twachetekera ko kabiye kulya utulandire ko problem yaso ubebe ndala meshire fwaika tukwate skulu kuno afike kofye mupepi nechipao noti atayo fumye ndala mashako awo ngabala fumye ndala mashako I doubt bambi ngabala ngira na campaign cause bali wina kali nganivyo nombefirenga ati bese na mma campaign mulando wako ati bafuayo kuwina cause twali mona ponga bali chita balesa mukuchita tibaita chan the where you mwambo kulande FP mwako as a member of parliament whatever yeah you have to declare the assets and the money that you have badi de ko kuchita declare bambi apo pakati apo why cause tabadefo kuishibiko ati oh shani na shani shirefu makuisa. So mucharo muno mwadi vendala manobu chushita mwaba. If you have ipakofye ni leadership ili kusogolo. Ndala mwamoshao. Sana. ero tababompya neshabu ishesu shali kolonga na kontanshukoti.
Interesting. In case you are joining us, you are watching the Ask Elections TV series, an initiative powered by the Alliance for Community Action, ACA. My guest on the program is Newton MAINZA. He was supposed to be accompanied by his colleague Pilato, but unfortunately he couldn't make it. Of the same, Mr. MAINZA is equal to the task to discuss the topic at hand, and that is youth and elections and what role should young people play in the 2021 general elections. Just now we are going to take a short break. We'll be back shortly. Stay tuned.
Every weekday at 10 hours. Join Pastor Victoria and Moses Chuluwa with Healing Word Ministries International Church live sermon every Sunday at 10 hours.
Katamanda brings to you another journey of gospel ministers on Saturdays at 10:30 hours. The verdict comes to your screens at 17:45 hours. Join the Revival Harvest Church every Sunday at 18:30 hours.
Every Monday to Saturday, join us on the news desk at 12 hours as we bring to you the midday news, and at 19:30 hours Central African Time every day for the main bulletin.
The ministry with Pastor Moses Chuluwa comes every Friday at 20:45 hours. On Mondays, it's your favorite national matters at 20:45 hours.
Wednesday and Thursday, Pastor Victoria and Moses Chuluwa are on Partnership of Greatness with different spiritual teachings at 20:45 hours.
And Frank on Camnet comes to your screen every Tuesday at 20:45 hours.
Camnet TV, not just another channel. Zambia has embarked on an economic journey for individual financial emancipation, empowering its citizens through land acquisition and developing the nation through agriculture. This time, Zambians are coming together, taking it upon themselves with the help of government to develop this great nation by taking individual responsibility and ownership of this great nation. The economic revolution has started. There are thousands of Zambians with a can-do mindset who are resolute, unstoppable, full of confidence and conviction that Zambia's set time of favor for development is now. Don't be left out. This could be the time you have been waiting for. Camnet Television, in conjunction with the United Agrivision Consultancy Limited, will be hosting a national conference on becoming a millionaire through agriculture. Date 1st October and 2nd October 2021. Charges 750 kwacha per person per day, that includes lunch. A limited number of participants through Zoom have also been reserved. You can also be part of the conference from the comfort of your home by registering online via Zoom, joining the people who were born for greatness. Charges for participation via Zoom are only 300 kwacha per person. Time 07:30 hours to 17 hours. Registration and confirmation of attendance will take place on the 29th of September 2021. Time 14 hours to 17 hours. Venue, the Healing Word Ministries International, the home of Camnet Television in Apex Hill, Kabulonga Road, Lusaka.
Thank you for watching the program. We are back. Well, we are discussing youth and elections. What should the role young people play in the 2021 general elections? My guest on the program is Newton MAINZA, also known as MBOTOTO. He is also an activist, especially on governance matters. He was supposed to have been accompanied by Pilato, but he couldn't make it, hence we only have Mr. MBOTOTO in the studios discussing various issues on the topic of discussion, which is youth and elections. What role should young people play in the 2021 general elections? Now, going ahead with our topic of discussion, do you suppose this year's general elections has enough youth aspiring candidates based on your assessment?
I'm trying to think of, to simplify it by putting it into percentages. I can say it's 30 yes, and then the remaining 70 no. there's 30%. I've seen a lot of youths participating, picking up the candidature posts of councillors, some MPs. Yeah, they are slowly opening up. I'm loving the zeal that the youths are having. It's like looking at the situation and what is happening. It can be defined as youths have now practically said enough is enough. That's what I can say. So,
but is there more that needs to be done to ensure that we get to the levels that you
yes,
say?
there's a lot that has to be done. Just like I said earlier, we should stop thinking that we are future leaders. We are supposed to be leaders. And freedom, we shouldn't be thinking that freedom is coming tomorrow. Freedom must come today. So if we try by all means that each and every youth, but I'm no longer a future leader, I'm supposed to be a leader. Leadership. Even their lifestyles be that of leaders. We are going to see a lot of change. But a lot has to be said. A lot of information has to be disseminated. As I said earlier, in the first place, they have to know what the Constitution is, what the Constitution talks about, what is transparency, what is democratic accountability, what is social accountability. Those terms propounded to the level where even a layman can understand, the educated, the uneducated, the rich, the poor, so that they are on the same page, even if academic-wise they are not on the same level, but constitution-wise, let them be on the same level. We should be understanding Zambia on the same level. Because yamachushi tupitamo yamoyene, takwa bati uwapelele mu grade 7 ubungala shita 500, uwapuishe grade 2 ubungala shita 250. Na tuwakwata problem Zambia bonse tula facing. So let us put our heads together. So if in the under, because once we get united, na ma politician ikesa abako trikiri yako but akese na junta. Abana bakwe ashabade nwa kirimora. Ero nomba kudia kuma election. Abana baba na nkwale bashitira junta. But as youths, if we sit together no kuipshanya, yo baona de bonga baisa na junta tunwe. Ngatuana junta bala chidea kupuishango over mailo. If we start having those meetings, cause problem to kwa taba youth. Ngatuwa umfa meeting kula chita expected. Kufide kwa isechi mu big money echara tupera meeting. No, as youths we should wake up. We should be having our own meetings. What do we want muno society as youths, so that nga isa politician fude tuwa mweba so. Nombaka ifutu ba politician, that's why balo mfabwino, that's why.
We take a call. Henry, you are through to Community TV.
Good evening, I'm calling from Chirundu.
You are Mr.
Fungabantu.
Okay, sir. You can go ahead with your contribution.
Good evening, Mr. Mascap.
Good evening, sir.
Yeah, you know what you're saying is what you're talking about is very true. All we need in Zambia is civic education. And it's the why politicians are manipulating us by lying to us that they've brought development, they've built part of 3G, and this is their mind. Take on my brother, God.
We lost that one, but I was just agreeing with your views. You can proceed. You were on the floor.
What was I talking about? I've even derailed.
We were actually at that aspect where, in terms of youth participation and the candidates, you were explaining a part where youths need to
I've said that. Yeah, I've said that.
The shorts.
We have to disseminate the rightful information to the youths. They have to be woken up. Zambia is for us. We are the Zambians. That for the today ikala 50 years plus, independence. Abantu bale ikala homeless. Yet we are having foreigners. You fumoko foreigner. Limbudi na 23 years. Ukuisa ashtalandi kulu yako but umuntu na 50 years umuzambian adi firuo kuishta. So as youths, we have to come together. Let us put our heads together. This is not time for fighting. If we keep on fighting, because from my point of view, they are loving it because what they are doing is divide and rule. If we get divided as youths, definitely very easy to be manipulated. But if we are united, na bena bafuire baisa ne fiamano na agenda bafuire baisa ne ile panga sense no teach because chat jidijid.
Do you also need the mixed member electoral system to encourage youth and women and persons with disability representation in parliament? Do we need that aspect? Yes, definitely, because if we are talking about people with disabilities, the better an Englishman says that who feels it knows it, right? So if it's representing the representation of people with disability, the better we have one who feels it, one who knows it, one who should like represent them accordingly to the way they want to be represented. The same as women. We cannot have like a man, from my point of view, it's pointless to have a man representing women. We should have a woman to represent the women because she knows the needs of the women. She knows and understands what women want. The same as youths. We should have a youth to represent the youths in parliament. We cannot have a 75-year-old man representing the youths. No. So if we have any mixed, mixed cut. Yes. Interesting. Interesting on that one. Yeah. Now let's take another question that I think is also, I was trying to get your analysis. I know you understand the various issues surrounding the youths. How can the same young people who are seemingly being used by politicians as tools for political violence end the vice? The ones in front, the ones that they go and these are the jumbo too, wouldn't love them to change because that is the character that synchronizes well when it comes to the periods of campaigns. Banwa junta, bamyange fya kumyanga myanga, ngaba pena, nishena ona de bwaumfwa bwinwa tindi na abapondo. But tufuire tuwabeba ba youth yat. No. Tabafuire bale tubomfya as amatuz aba political violence. We are brothers. Ababa politician balaya and moreover abalwa bafumine mukomboni. Ba mukuru olubudi ulwa abantu aba mumayadi. Abashiriko no kubako nanwa na minero water. Yuodi nensala uleru olubudi. And then at the end of the day, what do they achieve with or without violence? If intuna pena. So meaning that ngatwa basumini shokubo labo mbazi ama tools ya political violence. Nishita part of threat. So ba youth it fuide tuwa isukemi tuwa kweba ati. Aba abantu ngabaisa ne fijidi ngatwanwa ifijidi fichitenshi mumutwe who get intoxicated, and if we get intoxicated, what do we become? That's why naba politician balesa mukuchitati ngamwa votela aya, because the first cut is the deepest. Ngaisa mipela 20 kwacha mwalumba mishtira ne fijidi. You expect that person ingapita kabwele cause mukalamu shupa hadi shiba mwalimulanga picture yako batini fo ba janki turumba kajidijidi akesa isa time akafuwa idapo batinga mwamu facing in a sober state of mind mwamweba ifofweba youth ofo turefwa. We need this, we need that, we need ABCD. Akesa ishibati ba youth na shakudia very matured such that so they'll even maybe expose me. Interesting. Now, is lack of information on education the cause? Lack of information and education. Is it the cause of as to why many young people are being used as political cadres? Yes, definitely. Because he who understands the Constitution definitely understands the do's and don'ts. And if you understand the do's and don'ts, meaning that you are going to respect the laws of the land. So what we see is
I can say chimo kutoba amafunde deliberately cause ama lawmakers eba di kuntanji bakada bale panga violence and then nama lawmakers ama MP obotubu twingisha tibaye pange funde eba de mona coordinator beke funde so pingi yambwekesha kuli constitution. Once they understand the constitution, they'll get to know the do's and don'ts. Tukesaishiba na value at all. So ine ngana ya mukupokelera baona de Boku Airport. Te junta bakuide bampera. No. In the first place, I casted my vote. I voted for this person. What are the problems that we have in our society? Or what problems am I seeing? Oh, we don't have a clinic. Oh, the issue that we have to talk about. Kukwata dialogue na audio muntu about the clinic. Not yafumya chi bunch cha 100 kwa cha posa mwambo kulazamba kwa tidimbi. Ninko kwa dimiteka. That's why batukembwera. So as we are youth, it feel to realize that role to dingire okuplay mu society is very important, and if we don't play that role, no one is going to play the role of a youth on our behalf and expect things to run perfectly.
Just on that, what role should young people play in terms of ensuring transparency and accountability in the governance system?
Is to understand the very terms, the governance, transparency, accountability. They have to understand them, because you cannot defend something that you don't understand. And a lot of youths don't really understand what accountability is. Reason being that bambia maskuru itsungu chava pita kwandeni itsungu chilikuwa chikuru sana. So there are some terms that has to be propounded for fini accountability. What is accountability? Because accountability there's social accountability and democratic accountability. Democratic accountability is where you interact with the politicians. Vamichita promise, oh, kuno nishi mulefua, oh, turefua ma bridge, oh, nishi mulefua, and then democratic accountability, eituka quarter on the 12th of August. Yakoba in accordance nama dialogue tuwa kwatana bena nama conversation nama promises, and then accompanied by how the economy has been treating us would determine therefore we cover democratic accountability.
How does a vote relate to with service delivery? We also have a caller on that before you answer that one, so let's accommodate him, then you respond.
My name is John Manam. I'm calling from Kitwe.
Kitwe, you can go ahead, sir, with your contribution.
Thank you. I'm talking that gentleman. That is the constitution of the land. We're just talking about issues and then it's good to understand. The other day, the time my head is there, the government is yes. That's why it's structure. It's a gentleman of us. The government. Government is for the people, by the people, and for the people. It's a few issues. So, whatever, we have we have one again. You got a job, you take it. Who are you? Who are not project? You don't want to be the white in the lab, the age down in Muku. So you are here. What we shall like? About that, eat, take a shot.
Thank you. I don't understand if you got that perspective, but I think it is on where you were explaining about.
Yeah, he's saying that not all MPs go to parliament ukuya mukuina. So I'm sure Padiopo Bachadi from the statement that I issued. Yes. So then he's trying to say, Kwadibama MP who are willing to work for the people, and they work for the people, of which I'm not saying no. I agree. I'm not saying that the system is contaminated, the whole system. There are some people who are good, and we've got bad people. So that's his view as well. I cannot say that exactly. But it's his view, it's his opinion.
Yes, so now we were responding to how does a vote relate with service delivery?
A vote has got some strings attached to service delivery. In the first place, the reason why we cast the vote is because of the service delivery. So the vote, when you cast a vote, it means that you've agreed with someone's manifesto, and then you've analyzed that this person will fulfill their mandatory works if we tell them our programs, our problems, I mean, they'll go to parliament, no kuya yalanda ma problems yesu, no kuisa na ma solution.
Are you voting?
Definitely.
Whom are you voting for? I know it is your right, but whom are you voting for?
Your vote is your secret, but I'll vote wisely as a youth.
What should young people do beyond the elections?
Elections has got strings attached to the future. So whatever we do today, have got an impact for tomorrow. So we are not doing this for the sake of who is going to win, but who is going to change Zambia. Changing for the better, not just change, but changing it for the better.
As we come to the end of the program, I want to find out from you, why should young people vote in this year's elections?
They should vote in the first place. It's their right. If you're eligible, you have to participate in politics. And then if you don't vote, meaning that you're not exercising your right, and you shouldn't complain. If things goes well, don't complain. And if things goes the way you expect them, don't celebrate. Reason being that you didn't vote. And if it didn't go the way you expect them, don't do anything. So each and every youth has got the right to vote. Reason being that your vote is your voice. As they say, a lot of people are failing to speak their minds or their hearts out because people will start thinking, no, you are from the opposition, or if you are not affiliated to this political party, then you'll be like blah, 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 blah. But when it comes to democratic accountability, that will be your voice. You have to say it out. So each and every youth has to vote so that they express their views via the ballot. Let your vote be your voice.
Mr. MBOTOTO, thank you for finding time to be part of the program.
Thank you so much.
Well, our dear viewers, we've come to the end of our program. I've been hosting Mr. Newton MAINZA, aka MBOTOTO. He was supposed to have been accompanied by Fumba Chama Fumba, aka Pilato, but unfortunately he couldn't make it due to other circumstances. Nevertheless, we managed to discuss the topic at hand, which is youth and elections. What role should young people play in the 2021 general elections? Remember, this is the Ask Elections TV series, an initiative by the Alliance for Community Action. This has been Patrick Soko. Until next time, as we come with another interesting edition of The Verdict, stay tuned.